Okay, so we just completed talking about conditions, right? How to check the condition, right? How
Yeah,
to control the flow of program.
yeah,
Now we'll talk about um, the the loop, right? How to repeat certain things. So I gave an overview, right? That we have two types of loop. We have for loop and while loop in Python. For loop is used when you know how many times you need to repeat something. Okay, when you know how many times you need to repeat something, so 10 times, 15 times, 100 times, you know exactly how many times to repeat. While is when you don't know, but there is a condition, there has to be a situation. If that's the situation, you repeat it, otherwise don't repeat it, right? So I'll just give an example, one example of each, and then we'll focus on for loop. So let's say you talk about for loop, for example, let's say. So I told you for loop, okay, as the name suggests, it's a for loop. So the loop should start with for. Then since here we are repeating with a known times, right?
yeah.
So we need to have a counter which will count. Okay, if you have to do 5 times, has to have a counter which will count 5 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for you. So we say for counter. Now counter should get a value. Somebody has to tell it, right? So we say counter in. Now we say range. Now in range, when I say 3, comma 9, comma 2, what does that mean? What does range 3, 9, 2 means? So see, range, as I told you, always start from start and
And
increment,
okay,
right? Okay, that means if I say range and start is equal to, end is less than, end is never equal to, end is always less than value, and increment is obviously equal to. So when I say range 392, what are the values it will generate? So it starts from 3, okay, and the next value would be 3 plus increment. What's that?
5.
5. 3 plus 2, 5, isn't it? Next value would be,
5.
what was the next value?
7.
7. 5 plus 2, 7. What was the next value?
9.
9. But what did I say? It has to be less than 9,
Okay,
right? So this is it. You won't get 9. You get 3, 5, 7 only. 3 because start is 3. Okay, 5 because increment is 2. So 3, 3 plus 2, 5. 5, 5 plus 2, 7. 7, 7 plus 2, 9. But we said it has to be less than 9. So you won't get 9. Okay, you get up to 7 only. Okay. So now if you print hello, how many times this hello would be printed onto the screen?
1 time.
3 times.
Okay,
Because this loop is going to generate 3 values. Counter is going to get 3, 5, 7. 3 times the loop will run. So this for loop will run 3 times. So when you run P2 here, okay, you get hello, hello, hello 3 times. Okay.
okay.
Now, if you want to print the counter value, hello, the counter value is, and you say counter. So you'll see the counter value is 357. Okay. So this is how range and for and counter and in works. So in is going to take value from right hand side and give it to left hand side, which is counter. Take value from range, give it to counter. For will make it run okay, number of times, and that depends upon, of course, the value that is right side of in, that is range is generating. Okay, now this is an example of for loop. You can have or while. I will talk about one while example. So while, I just said, is used when we don't know how many times to run, but there has to be a situation, there has to be a condition. If that condition is true, your loop will keep on running. The moment condition becomes false, you stop. So while is always followed by a true condition. Okay, so I can have something like continue equal to y. So I'm going to check here while continue equal to y, right? That means continue equal to try y. Will it return true or false in this case?
True.
It will return true, isn't it? Because it is continue is cont is y.
Why? Yeah.
Okay, cont is y. Okay, so when continue equal to y, okay, your while loop will continue. Now if I say print hello from while, okay, and I run it, what happens? See, it is printing, it's going on printing, infinite loop. Why infinite loop? Okay, because I said continue equal to y, which is fine. It goes inside, prints hello, comes back to the beginning here, still cont is y, so it goes in, comes back, checks again y, goes in, right? So since continue is y forever, it is increasing, and it, it kind of creates a infinite loop here. So we don't want to create an infinite loop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So there has to be a mechanism to make this continue, not y. See, when it is y only, it will continue. So we'll press this red stop button to stop executing. Now what I'll say, I'll ask the user, cont equal to input, do you want to continue? Hit y for yes, any other key for no. Do you want to continue? Hit y for yes, any other key for no. Okay, any other key for no. Now when I run it, okay, y, it goes in, prints hello from while. Now it's asking us, do you want to continue? I'll say y, small y. Again, continues and executes the loop, checks. Do you want to continue? I say yes, 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 yes. The moment I hit any other key other than y, the loop stops.
Okay. All right.
Right? This is how your while works. Right? So today let's focus on for loop. We'll do a few more examples to understand how for loop works, and tomorrow maybe we'll talk about while. Okay. Now coming back to for loop here. Okay, let me um, hmm, move this away, because every time it'll ask me the condition, right? So okay, and maybe I'll put this also away for now. Let's come back here. Okay, so I'm going to write another example. I want to print value 1 to 100. So here I know how many times to print, what all to print. So I'm going to say num, or directly I can say for I in range. I is the counter, range, and range I need 1 to 100. So I'll say 1, comma, 101. 101 because I want up to 100. So I'll go up to 101, comma, 1. Increment is 1 because you want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. And now you go and you say print I. I will first be 1. Then in second iteration, it prints 1, goes up, then I becomes 1 plus 1. Increment is 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. Prints 2, goes up. Now I becomes 2 plus 1, 3. Goes on and it will go on till 100. And after 100, obviously, 101 is not less than 101. So it stops. So see, you are printing from 1 and goes all the way up to 100. Now, when you have an increment of 1, you don't even have to give it. Okay. When increment is not given, default value is 1. Okay. So when you give range with 2 values, it means you're giving which all values?
Sorry.
When when the range has just 2 values, what does that mean? How many values are which all values does it take?
Starting and
Starting and
ending.
ending, right? So earlier we gave 3 values: start and an increment. Start and an increment. Now when you have only 2 values, it means you're giving start and end. You're giving start and end. There's no increment. And when we don't give increment, what does that mean?
Just 1.
Increment is by default 1, right? When you
Yeah.
don't get any value, it means increment is by default 1. Okay?
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Now I want you to do an assignment and ask me if you're not able to do it. I want you to generate say even numbers from 2 to 100, both inclusive. Both inclusive means your first number has to be 2 and your last number has to be what?
Okay.
The last number has to be 100. So first number has to be 2 and last number has to be 100. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's do one program where I want to generate a star pattern. Okay. I want to generate a pattern like, okay, let me print first only 1 star now. So print 1 star. Now I want to print 5 stars. So I have to repeat this 5 times, isn't it? To print 5 stars, I need to repeat the print 5 times. Then only I get 5 star. So what I'll do, I'll say for I in range 1, 1, 6. So I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to go up to 5. Right? So I need
Yeah.
to give 6. Then only I'll get up to 5.
5.
Right? Or you can say 0, 5.
Okay.
Right? And what Python says is if you're giving me from 0 to 5, okay, you don't even have to give me 0. So when start number is not given, default value is 0. So see, we started with range with 3 values and now we ended up range with just 1 value.
Yeah.
Right? So when you start a range with 3 values, you have start, end, and increment. When you have range with 2 values, it means you do not have increment. That is default 1, and you only have start and end. And when you have only 1 value, it means now you don't have start, you have only end. Okay, you have only end, and by default, you are starting from 0. So if I say range 5, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of print, okay, which should be inside for loop, just like we to indicate that this print is inside for loop, right? The way we used for if condition. Now here, instead of star, if I print I, what happens? See, you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So starts with 0 and go. I'm going to move this up to our where we are saving all the code. Okay. Now instead of I, if I say star will be printed 5 times, obviously. We said 5, so star is printed 5 times. Now what I'll do is I will make n equal to 5 so that you can change whatever value you want to change it to 7, you get 7 stars, right? Okay. Now I want the stars to be printed in same line. If I want stars to be printed in same line, what should I do? I have to use AND. We discussed this AND also, right? If you want to remove the default new line character from the end of the line, you have to say AND equal to this. Let me give a space, or if you don't want to give a space, also fine. So what does AND do? What's the use of AND?
It prints in the same line.
It prints in the same line. By default, print will print in different lines, isn't it? You guys are not practicing, is it? So when by default, print will print in different line. If you want to print in same line, that means you do not want that new line character. You say end equal to whatever you give here, that will be printed at the end. So I'm saying at end nothing. At end nothing means even new line is not printed. So now when you print it, you print everything in same line. Okay. So this is how you end up getting 7. And because see, cursor is still waiting here. After work is done, I want to bring it down to the next line. So I'll say print. It comes to next line. This prints your star in same line. Now let's see. I want to print square of star. That means I want to print here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stars 7 times. 7 stars 7 times, or 5 star 5 times, or 4 star 4 times, or 2 star 2 times. So what I will do, I will take same program. Okay. So now do you understand how to print these stars in same line? Any question here?
No.
Any question?
No, sir.
Dushmant?
No.
Okay, great. So this is about printing star in same line. Now what I'm saying is, okay, this is good, you printed this, but I want whatever you have done to repeat it multiple times. So this entire thing, okay, or for a minute, let's forget that we have it here, and I'll show you the importance of this in some time. Okay, now this is what is printing stars in same line. I want to repeat this, okay, multiple times. So what I'll do, I'll say for j in range n. Okay, and let me give tab. So what happened? This is going to print the star, and this is going to repeat this whole logic n times, right? So you end up getting 7 into 7, 49 stars. So what we need to do is, after printing this, after printing 7 stars, you need to change the line. The next 7 should print from next different line. That's why this print blank. So this is going to print the stars in same line. After the end of star, now before you begin the second loop, see, this is for loop outer, just like you have if and inside if and inside if and inside if. Here you have for loop and inside for loop and inside for loop and inside for loop. One iteration of outer means full iteration of inner, because when j moves 1 and comes in, j has to complete, then it goes back here. So second iteration again it completes. Third iteration again it completes. So when j moves by 1, I completes complete iteration. Then goes back to j. J becomes now 1. Okay? It was 0 before. Now it becomes 1. Again, I will print 7 stars. Then go back up again. So you end up getting these 7 stars like this. Okay, the first one ignore because first one is the earlier one. Okay, let me make it 4. Why? We'll do it 4 only. Then we can do it. Okay. Did you understand what we did here? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now let's make some change in the pattern. So you have like, 4, right? So instead what I'll do now, I want to print something like, okay, 4, here 3, maybe here just 2, and here 1. So I want to print 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, and 4 star. Okay, so I will take this. Now tell me, okay, something has to be changed, and we have only two things to change here, either for loop of I or j. Okay, which one do you think we need to change here? J need to change or I we need to change? See, third line print is printing the star, so we need star. It's a star pattern, so we need star. Last print is to change the line. We need to change the line, right? So between j loop and I loop, which one do you think we need to change? Which one do you think we need to change? Now see, what is the purpose of this j loop? Why are we using this j loop? What is the purpose of this loop, I loop? Hmm? What is the purpose of this I loop here?
Actually, it is confusing for me.
Why should it be confusing? I'm just repeating. No, I'm repeating. Loop, I'm just repeating it multiple times. That's it. So what's so confusing about this? Range 5 means repeat 5 times. This is repeating 5 times. So what's so confusing about it?
Okay.
Not okay. Tell me. See, this I we have been using since beginning. This is to print. This is to print here. Where is that gone? Okay. Single star. Yeah, single star. So this star I need multiple times. So I'm using I to print it multiple times. So this is going to print us just one row. J we introduced because we wanted to print multiple rows. Repeat the print I for I multiple times. So J is taking care of number of rows and I is taking care of printing the star in each row. Is that so confusing? Just 2 lines, simple 2 line. J is taking care of number of rows. I is taking care of the number of stars that is printed in each row. So printing is being taken care by I and the counting of the rows is taken care by J. So here is the number of rows changing? No. Number of rows is not changing. We have 4 here, we have 4 or 7, whatever, right? N. That means we don't have to make any changes in the J. J is fine. J is taking care of number of rows. So we need same number of rows. J is fine. Problem is with I. I is printing a fixed value n every time. But we don't want a fixed value. We want first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, so on. See, whenever you are doing any programming, I told you, okay, you need to look at three things: input, process, output. Input is what you need. So here I gave you n number of stars and what pattern you need. Okay, the process is about developing that. So you have to look at a pattern. What pattern it is, you have to understand the pattern. If you understand the pattern, then programming becomes easy. It's matter of writing correct code. If your pattern you got it wrong, doesn't matter how good program you write, but you're not going to get the output. Find the pattern. What is the pattern here? Pattern says row number 1 1, row number 2 2, row number 3 3, row number 4 4, row number 5 5, row number 6 6, row number 7 7, row number 8 8. That means row number, this value is changing with the row number. This is your row number. J is taking care of rows. That
Mm.
means I is changing with your row. I should be J. That J is 0, then it has to be 1. Because counting in Python starts from 0. We said 0. One option is you say 1 comma n plus n, n plus 1, or you say n and you say j plus 1. Because when j is 0, you want 1 star. When j is 2, sorry, j is 1, you want 2 star. When j is 2, you want 3 star. When j is 10, you want 11 star. When j is 100, you want 101 star. So you say j plus 1. Now when you run it, you get this pattern. If I have to do it reverse pattern, okay, okay, means I want first 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Now what's the pattern here? Are we changing j? No, j has to be same because n number of rows, perfectly fine. We need to change here. Now it is not increasing 1, 2, 3, 4. It is,
Decrease.
okay, yes, it is decreasing. So you start with n, next time it is n minus 1. First row it is n minus 0, n minus j is 0. Next time n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3. So n minus j will do the job for us. And when you run it, you get, see, decreasing star. And I'll do one more and then I'll stop for today because I want you to go back and practice this. Okay. I told you if, for loop, and while, these three are the foundation for programming. If you get these three things right, okay, whatever other topics is just usage, using in a making a program better. But the core logic is built with these three topics. These three topics only you have to master. Everything else you'll get it automatically. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'm going to create a Z pattern. So I told you, you have to figure out the pattern, what pattern it is. So here in Z, what I'll do, so here you have, okay, in Z, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, right? So fourth row, you should have 4. This is your Z pattern. How do you automate it? So see here, there are three things you have to look at. One, number of stars in first row and the last row is n. Number of stars in first row. See, number of rows, j should be same. J should not change. I will change. So in I, what I'm saying is, if it is your first row or the last row, then print all the stars. So I will have a condition. If j equal to 0 or j equal to n minus 1. N minus 1 means last row. So if it is first row or the last row, you want to print the stars. So you'll say for loop for I in range n, right? And all n numbers. So print star space and equal to nothing, right? So now when you run it, see here, okay, and once you are done, before you go back you have to say print blank. So what happens? You're getting 2 star because when j is 0, you are printing, and when j equal to last, you are printing, and you are not printing for other values of j. So else means when else is what? When j is neither 0 neither last. Here I need to print 1 star. So I'll say print star. For 1 star, I don't need to give end. So I'll say 1 star. So first row, 1 star, and last row. Perfect. Okay. Now this is your C pattern, not Z pattern exactly. For C pattern, you're happy. You can say this is my C. You got C here now. This is how we write C. But obviously this is not Z. What we have missed here is the spaces.
Yeah.
We have taken care of stars, but we haven't taken care of spaces. Okay. Now you see, when you have spaces on the right, you don't have to worry about, because right side anyway, if you leave it blank, it is space. But left side, you have to give the space. I did not print space, so it printed star from the beginning. So is this space, is it not something like this one? First you have 4 spaces, then 3 spaces, then 2 spaces, then 1 space? Of course, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this has to be along with the star, right? So I'm going to say for, okay, k, okay, third variable for space, in range. Now range here has to be first your n minus 1, then n minus 2, then n minus 3, etc. Right? Like that space. So you say for k in range, n minus j. And now I'm going to say print, okay, space. And need to have end equal to nothing. That's it. So when spaces are done, then you have to print here the star. Let's see what happens. So you see, you're getting something like that. But I think this has to move little more. See, don't expect to get answer in the first attempt itself. Okay, I need to give extra space, right? So maybe what I'll do, I'll put space in end also here. Let's see what happens. Okay, no, this did not work. So maybe I'll try to give space here. No, not here. Maybe I'll give space here and see what happens. Okay. Maybe one more space here and see what happens. Okay, no. Maybe I'll give one extra space here. So how to give one extra space? I have to say +1, right? Okay. So this is how you will get this. Maybe this space I should remove from here. Okay, you see, you get Z. Now if I make n equal to, maybe let's try with 9. See, pattern means, okay, you change n and you don't have to change anything else. Everything should be automatically taken care of. Now you see, no, this is not proper. Okay, this is not proper Z. This looks more like I, right? So it means we need to give extra spaces. Okay. I think we need to give space here only. Okay, let's try. And I need to remove this. Let me remove this and see. Yes, this looks a little better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Yes. So this is how you can. Let me delete here and let me give one space here. What you get? No. Extra space here. No. Extra space. It's not working. So this is not right. Here I have to give extra space. And I need to remove this extra space from here. Now it should be okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is how you can generate a Z pattern. Okay. Now you can generate any pattern A, B, C, I, L. First, you have to figure out what is that. Can I repeat it? Can I find a pattern? See, you cannot keep printing. Okay, I cannot manually say here like this. I cannot say print. Okay, star, star, star. Okay, star, 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 and then print. Okay, star, star, star. If I'm doing a square pattern, let's say. You cannot do this because if I change n to 100, 10, 15, automatically this should also change. Okay, so you have to extend it to a point where it is, it is a pattern that you're looking at, not exact value. Okay, if I change n to 10, nothing will happen. It'll still print 4. No, this is not what we want. Okay, now you change to any value, you change to 12, also it should look like Z pattern only. Should look like Z pattern only. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how actually you need to look at the stars.
Got it.
Let me try one more thing. If I give n minus 1 and here I give, and then this. Yes, see, this looks much better. So
Yes.
and so see, to get the perfection, okay, you cannot get perfection the one attempt. You see the output. Based on the output, you try to change. You see, what should I do? Okay, there's extra space here. How can I reduce the space? Maybe I reduce the space. No, it's not working. Then let me try to give space here. Okay. So, okay, you do trial and error and you will get the perfect answer.
Okay. Got it.